During a short circuit interruption, there is a temperature developing which is twice as hot as the sun. Okay, then 3, 2, 1. Circuit breakers, so switchgear, they are like basically your kind of guardians of the electrical systems. There is like an electric switch that, as for example, we have this one here, which in case of an overcurrent, an overload, of a short circuit, it will cut off the current, thus protecting the electric circuit in your grid. Here, for example, we can see the interior of a miniature circuit breaker. So the idea is basically that as soon as one of those two devices, that this is a thermal devices that's going to feel like a small surge in currents of overload and overcurrents, is going to snap the mechanism so that the two contacts that you can see here, they're going to open and try to interrupt the current. For larger currents, we have a magnetic strips here, which also is going to kick the contact here above and again open the two contacts. So the problem, and that's the tricky part, is that as soon as the contact open, there is the formation of an electric arc. So basically, it's a self-sustained bridge of plasma which keeps the current flowing in between the two contacts. And the whole structure of the circuit breaker, as you can see here, this is the arc chamber, is to take this arc here, driving it down the arc chamber in what we call the arc chute, so that the arc, it's like stretched, so elongated, and also cooled down, so that this one that we call splitter plates can actually stop, interrupt, and extinguishing the arc. So here we are talking about milliseconds. So it's something that is really happening in the blink of an eye. The power that we are talking about here, it's pretty big. During a short circuit interruption, it can develop power, so due to the electric arc that I was mentioning before, something in the range of 10 to 20 kilowatts. So just to give you an idea, your toaster, 1 kilowatt. The microwave, 1 kilowatt. The electrical kettle, 2 kilowatt. In terms of temperature, we are talking about that during a short circuit interruption, we have something like 12,000 Kelvin. Just to give you an idea again, the sun surface is 6,000 Kelvin. So during a short circuit interruption, there is a temperature developing which is twice as hot as the sun, which also means that all the materials that you can see here inside the breaker must withstand this kind of burst of energy without melting or igniting. So this is not just like plastic and metal, but they're really carefully designed to sustain this amount of power that you have there. This is the high current lab, and as is stated in the name, is when we do experiment with high current. What I mean with high current is 80,000 ampere. So just to give you an idea, the way you charge your smartphone, we are talking about 1 to 5 ampere. So here is 80,000 ampere. So there is a lot of current passing through the lab. We actually generate through our capacitors, and then we discharge as alternating current in our test object. So today we are going to try to do a short circuit interruption with a current, you're going to see peak current around 11 kiloamps, and you're going to see the flash due to the presence of the arc, very intense as I explained before, and also you're going to hear noise. And the noise is due actually because this temperature is actually creating the plasma, but this plasma is expanding so fast due, as I mentioned before, the time scale is millisecond, and due to this expansion is creating pressure waves. And this is what you're gonna hear, and it's gonna be loud, and that's why we need to have this to protect our ears. 3, 2, 1. What I like about being a physicist is this kind of challenge when you discover something that nobody discovered before or nobody understood it before. So to say like, oh, okay, finally we understood this, and maybe we, in this case, this industry application, how can we use what we understood to have some practical application of it? So all this process about discovering and then finding an application is what is really like pushing me and making me like happy every day.